Okay, April 12th, and it's 9:30 Central. This is really interesting. I've learned a couple of things here. Uh, we were wondering earlier today why the Gekona harp is harping this area right here, and now it's obvious. They've created a high pressure here, and this motion from the high is helping to push this warm, humid air from Hawaii clear into central Alaska. Okay, and if we look at the water vapor, look how dark this is. This is just extremely dry air that HAARP is pressing down. And, proof of this, oh boy, there's a lot of proof. But if we look at, here's the surface map that comes from, oh gosh, SFSU. Look at this surface. The computer tries to judge what the surface winds are. Look at it, it's a jumbled mass of garbage. In other words, the computer cannot figure out what the heck is happening. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have this stupid thing keyed up right. Look at this. It's just a jumbled... It looks like a bunch of flies that crawled on top of each other or something. And that's the computer trying to interpret the satellite data and come up with the weather pattern. Now that's pretty damn interesting. So if we actually look at the... okay, here's the 500 millibars, so this is the jet stream. Look, it's just real smooth flow, real smooth flow. But you look at this damn thing, well, this one here, that is so black. So, oh, that's what I gotta show. Jet stream here. How can you have sinking air if you don't have high pressure here? I mean, we should, and here's the left curve, that's a low pressure, that's rising air in the at 500 millibar jet stream. Sorry if that's technical, but you should have rising air here, and this shows dry air that we have sinking air, plus we have the HAARP, look, there's the HAARP. These curves are HAARP smoke rings, HAARP outflow boundaries. This is being harped to create high pressure to keep this sucker being pushed into the Arctic. I mean, this is creating a circulation to push that forward. And now the really interesting thing is, on Goes East, this afternoon I could not understand. This is an old picture. This is mid-afternoon, has not been updated. They were harping this area, Kansas and northern half of Oklahoma, and I could not figure out why in the hell are they harping this area right here, because here's the extreme low frequency, let me zoom that just so we can review just a little bit before I show you what is so interesting. This is incredible. Okay, see, we got... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm zoomed again. God dang it. Okay, well, here we got these HAARP ELF signature, and it kind of starts showing up all over the place. But this clearing is indicating this is where they are trying to make dry air to prevent any kind of storms. And gosh, I don't know, it was like 5 p.m. that this was last updated. I mean, now it's 9:30, and now let's look and see what has actually happened in that spot right there. Unzoom that. Here's the animation. There's a clearer view, maybe. Yeah, that's a better contrast. Let me zoom a little. Look how this has exploded into storms, and it's like it unzipped or something. So the computer, the supercomputer that tells the HARP machine what to do and the chemtrailers where to lay their trails, it was saying this right here, we got to control it right here. You can actually see it kind of unzips like a splitting balloon or something. Say, thank God, let's have some rain. But anyway, that's why they were harping that one spot. They knew it was going to be the nucleus to originate these storms. Okay, now I see some more stuff here down at the base. Whoops. Okay, so we got looks like a straight line with some ELF on it. Anyway, so that's why they were doing a downburst right here, trying to prevent this whole thing from just unzipping like that. Interesting stuff. And if we look in water vapor mode, it sure did. Looks like somebody's going to get some rain. But, you know, true to form, HARP can only reach, you know, from the Mississippi or even from, you know, Dallas and west. And so that's the part they were attacking. You know, if they build more HARP transmitters, heck, they would have attacked this whole thing. But so far, I have not quite seen. Well, actually, I do have some evidence, but I couldn't locate the transmitter. But I know there's two on the Pacific coast. So that's a nightmare enough, because that's where all the weather comes from. So that is, to my mind, extremely interesting. And Texas was dry as a bone today. Let me have a look at the current. That's old. Let me update this. So look at the current precipitation. We'll see how it fits our little model. Well, it doesn't look near so dramatic in this little map here. Okay, so number one, they minimized the rain in California. No rain in Texas to speak of. This green means very light rain. We're talking practically nothing. And they let it rain up in Montana, but looks like they really fought it. And this thing that's just unzipped in the last hour. So that, you know, I've got the model of how this operates, and I have not seen, ever since I came up with this model, I have never seen anything that contradicts it. And if there is a contradiction, it's because they have to address something out in the Pacific. And they actually are, you know, letting it sit. I mean, letting some storm front move through the U.S. But Texas was a horrible, it was a hot day, it was totally chemtrailed over, and it was very windy, very, very hellish type of wind conditions, blowing dirt, and yet it was like 50% shade because of all the chemtrails, and yet it was, I don't know, 95, 98 degrees. Son of a gun. It's just hellish conditions. And I don't believe for a minute that chemtrails cool the surface anymore. What cools the surface is natural clouds. Natural clouds bubble up and provide natural rain. That's what provides cooling. And a good example of that is Florida. I mean, when Florida is permitted to have natural thunderstorms and you know, rain every afternoon, okay, sure, it'll be 95 and muggy, but it's not going to be the kind of extreme heat that happens out in the desert Southwest and all. But you know, Mother Nature has dealt with these cycles before, And that's why we've got to stop the chemtrailing and the HAARP. For God's sakes, please. Alrighty, thanks.